Hey everybody, and welcome to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Eldridge Air Conditioning. We are with the Sunday League for Ultimate Racing League, and we're with the AM2 guys. Been some fantastic racing this season. I picked it up after, I think it was round 2 or round 3, something like that, because Darren couldn't continue. He'd had some internet issues, so I picked it up, and I'm really glad I did, because these boys really do put on a show. Now, we've moved over to Australia. Well, the drivers have moved over. Me and Mark are still here. Just Mark is with us, Harry Poppins.
Hi Mark, how you doing?
Hi mate. Yeah, are you recovered yet? We did have a bit of a drinky poo last night. We did the pro guys race earlier, then we put the barbecue on, and what was it? Kangaroo kebabs. We had Mark and
kangaroo kebabs. We had Mark. Yeah. How did you find them?
Had a few. Very nice, very nice. A bit chewy, a bit bouncy.
Yeah, they are nice.
So, yeah, we're still here, but the AM2 guys have now moved in and are on track and ready to go. They're all in the Corvette, the GR4 Corvette. So we're going to have a quick look down the grid and see where everybody is. Now, just before I do that, I did promise the league table, and I managed to find it. So I'm just going to do the top 5 for now. So out in front is Bandit on 160 points. Just behind him is Firepower. In second, he's on 150 points. Get Smurfed is on 137 points in third. Max is fourth with 135. Excuse me. And then Lewis is in fifth on 117 points. So it is all still pretty close up at the top. Endurance race now, 50 minutes or 21 laps. All 3 tyre compounds or dry tyre compounds are to be used, and yeah, strategies are going to kick in now. So sprint racing done for the guys that like to just floor it and get around as quick as possible. Now the strategies are going to come into play, so things might start to change at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, so strategy-wise, you've got to probably think again, Mark, maybe coming in around about lap 8, lap 9. It does look a little bit cloudier out there now than it was earlier. So it'd be interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to say, I'm going to put my dollar on maybe lap 8, lap 9, something like that.
For the pit stops, yeah. And fuel is going to be a big issue as well, so we'll keep an eye on that as we go round. So let's just have a quick look down the grid then, shall we? So Bandit in his usual position on pole out at the front. Then we've got G Smith. That's a good qualifier for him, gets himself up into second. Firepower in third. He's challenging for the top spot in the league, so P3 is not a bad starting position for him. Castrian in fourth. Then we've got Steele in fifth. Hawkeye is sixth. Flash is seventh. Addy 8th, Golden Lugnuts 9th, Sid is in 10th, System X 11th with G Killer. G Killer is a new name.
Oh,
so a cherry being popped on Slowpoke Racing today, and that is G Killer. And where's that flag? Is that Danish?
I do believe that's Denmark, yes.
It's Denmark. That's
a Danish flag. That one.
So welcome to Killer. I hope he is a killer on the track as well as the name. So looking forward to seeing what he can do, starting at the back of the grid. So let's get the usual camera and get this race underway. So 21 laps ahead. As we've mentioned, we are in Australia. We're at Mount Panorama, 3.8 miles, 23 turns ahead of us, including the famous Dipper at the top of the mountain, but we will have a look at that a little bit later on. So you've mentioned, Mark, that you think the guys will be coming in around about 7, lap 8.
I'm going to put my money on around about lap 8, lap 9, I reckon. Let's see what they do going round in terms of lap times, and I'll be able to get a more definitive lap count for them. I'm interested to see where they go through the Big Dipper, because these cars are slightly higher than the boys that are racing earlier, weren't they? So they're not quite as low down. So the suspension will be a bit softer on these. Are they still using leaf springs on these, Mark? Do you know?
I think it's some sort of plywood that they use in the American cars. It's to be fair, these Corvettes do handle pretty well, and I think they probably handle slightly better than those god-awful Lamborghinis, but you're quite right, the Lamborghinis were like skateboards compared to these. These are a lot higher up, but they're a bit slower as well, being a Group 4. Oh, Smith decides to try and remove the wing mirrors very early on as we go across the top of the mountain range, excuse me, for the first time into the S's and then down towards this dipper that we keep going on about. We will show you a little bit more detail when we do on board with one of the guys. So everybody just trying to settle in, get some heat into the tyres. Talking of tyres, let's have a look, shall we? So Bandit out on the soft tyres. Smith in second, he's on the mediums. Then we've got Firepower starting on the softs. Castrian on the mediums. Bit of a mixture there for the top four. Steele on the hard. So Steele in fifth, going for the hard tyres.
So what have we got there then? So we've got 2 on the softs, 2 on the mediums, and Steele's on the hards.
Yep.
So as we saw from the last race, I mean, obviously these cars are slightly, the setup's a bit different to the Lambo. So it'd be interesting to see how much, how long these softs will last on this car.
Hawkeye with the familiar hard tyres. I think that's all he's got, is he? He's only got hard tyres. I hope the crew have brought the rest of them. If those are wondering what we're on about, last week he had a bit of an issue in race 1 where he was on the hard tyres and just stayed on hard tyres, didn't he? So it's a bit of a mix-up. I'm sure that pit crew has now all been sacked and he's got a new team in place. So hopefully Hawkeye will do a little bit better this week. Flash in 7th, also on the hard tyres. System on the mediums, down in 8th at the minute, with Sid just behind him going for the softs. So Sid will be looking to try and get past System while he's got some grip on that Corvette. As we go up the mountain straight, sorry Mark, didn't mean to jump in there.
No, there's no jumping in there. It's basically, Sid's going to want to get through that pack as quickly as he can, especially on the softs, but they do look like they're already disappearing from the back of who is it? System X. There seems to be like a gap already, but Sid needs to basically get a move on because, like I said, look, you see the wear on that. It's only lap 2.
Yeah, those tyres are going to disappear quite quickly, aren't they? And his Flash has got it all wrong. Oh, that is not where you want to be parking. We will have a quick look at that. We're not going to keep going back because it is about a 50-minute race. So we will have a look at the odd incident as we find it. But as we go in to start our trip through the mountain race,
foot on the pedal, mate. Foot on the noisy pedal there. Too eager to get going there. Unfortunately for Flash, he just couldn't compose himself. At least he didn't do it on the Big Dipper. So
it's a tricky turn though, that one, to be fair. It does catch you out. Well, it catches me out quite a lot because there's a bit of a camber in the road as you turn that bend, and it does unsettle the car. But poor old Flash now down to 10th. We've got Addy just behind him in 11th. Killer has gone through. We missed a couple of these guys. Killer's gone through. He's on the medium tyres. Let's jump on board with Killer, shall we? And get a look at this dipper. So through the S's, and then you're into this right-hander, and then you're thrown into this dipper, and boom, there's the drop. And didn't look too bad actually from Killer's point of view, but
it looked quite smooth, doesn't it? A lot smoother than the Lambo. So like
absolutely.
I said, they're most running on cardboard or leaf springs or whichever planks of wood underneath there. Who knows? But it does seem a lot more settled going through the dipper than the Lambos did earlier. And
it does, I mean, when you're actually driving and you're in the car, it does give you a bit more of a jolt than what we noticed. But the guys got through. So Killer just coming under a bit of attack then. And let's just have a look. I've seen a little bit of a battle taking place there. Sid tried desperately to get by System X, but couldn't quite get it done unless he's going up the inside as we come into the chase. But no, just backs out at the last minute as System X manages to hold on to P7. So Sid's still trying to fight his way through and get on after the guys up ahead. So as you quite rightly pointed out, Mark, there is a gap now starting to open up between Hawkeye and System X, and Sid just does not want to let that group get away too far.
No, he doesn't. He needs to get past System X. He needs to get past now, basically. He needs to get past him on this lap. Otherwise, this is going to throw his strategy all off. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board. I was hoping he might got a bit better of a turning off of Hell's Corner, but he's going to be stuck up here now, isn't he? That's the problem.
Yeah, we've jumped up to the top. You can see Bandit already opening up a gap as you would expect him to do on the soft tyres, but this is where the fight's taking place at the minute. Smith still holding on to P2, but really coming under a lot of pressures from Firepower. Firepower trying to force a mistake out of Smith, and you can see Smith getting very desperately close to the barriers there. Firepower will just keep that pressure on, try and force a mistake, but also on the soft tyres is Firepower, so he could do with getting past Smith, who's on those mediums.
Well, he's trying to remove that rear mirror, isn't he? The side mirror of that car, because we saw him on the other lap where he's trying to get rid of it, shed a bit of weight.
There will be bits of plastic all over this track by the end of the race, I'm sure. So Firepower needs to get a good exit out of Forest Hill, but this is a key corner, as we saw with the Lambos, Mark, that you need a fantastic exit out of here.
Yeah, you do need a fantastic exit out here, because as we saw in the last race, the slipstream seems to does not kick in until you get to the chase, does it? So it does feel like he is a little bit too far back to be able to mount a challenge here. But you can see, even though they're going downhill, how mundane the slipstream is. It's like almost like non-existent.
Yeah, it's like it's not there, is it? But Firepower getting through that section. It has took him a little bit closer to Smith. Yeah, Firepower could really do with getting by Smith and get on chasing after Bandit. Again, doesn't want to let him get too far.
Look at that. Look at this. This track is absolutely eating his tyres on lap 3, just starting lap 4. That's incredible how much tyre life that's taken out in just the end of 3 laps.
As we start lap 4, then these guys, oh, there you go, Hawkeye already into the pit. So Hawkeye's done a minimum on the hard tyres of 3 laps, which is, as we've already said, it is the minimum required amount of laps you have to do on those tyres. Hawkeye's changing them already, so maybe looking at 3 stops, do you think, Mark, for Hawkeye? Because the softs and mediums are not going to take him to the end of the race, surely.
Absolutely not. Definitely not the softs. He might be able to stretch a few more laps out on the mediums, but that's a very early stop from Hawkeye.
Yeah,
look at this. Look, the old Aussie slackers. How long it takes them to fill that car up.
So Hawkeye is, well, he's all the way down to the back now, but as I say, he is the only one that's pitted, so everybody ahead of him has yet to make a stop. Sid down in 11th just cannot get by System X in 10th, so System X really doing a good job of keeping Sid behind him. Then we've got Golden Lugnuts in 9th with Flash just ahead of him. Lugnuts on the hard tyres, so going a little bit further than Hawkeye in this race. Flash also on the hard tyres. Addy on the mediums in 7th with Killer, the newcomer to the league, in 6th. So good start for him for his debut race.
Yeah, I think it's going to call him GK. GK?
GK, yeah, GK.
Yeah, GK. GK sounds good.
Killers, yeah, it sounds, yeah.
Oh, there's our villa. There's our villa. Do you see it there?
Yeah, we do. For those know, me and Mark have actually rented a villa up at the top of the mountain, just after Frog Hollow, because this is actually a road course, and this is a residential area as well. If various parts of the track, if you keep looking left and right, you'll see driveways that lead up to these extremely nice houses. I think there's one just coming up on the left, I think. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, because we had a bit of history about the track, didn't we? So it originated in the 1930s, as like you say, it's a scenic tourist drive created during the Great Depression to provide jobs. So the first race was actually held in 1938, but this track is most famous for hosting the Bathurst 1000, and we all know about the Aussie V8 supercar events that they love to have around here, like the Bathurst 12-hour races. Imagine that, doing 12-hour races around here in the Aussie V8 supercars. That must be intense.
Mind-numbing.
Mind-numbing.
Yeah, that's what it would be, 12 hours around here. But some great information there about the track. It's always nice to know a little bit about these tracks. There's a lot of fictional tracks in GT7, but when we do use a real track, it's always nice to get a little bit of info on it. As we see Hawkeye, System X and Sid the Sloth battling it out for P10. We've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times. Oh, it's Hawkeye! Big old kiss with a barrier. That is not what he wanted.
That's an unusual place to spin there as well, isn't it, Mark?
He's come out of Murray's corner. I think he's just probably a bit too keen on the noisy pedal there. Cold tyres as well, and damage at the front. So poor old Hawkeye. We were saying that you don't have to be at the front to have a good battle, but Hawkeye has now dropped off the pace. So quite a bit of work ahead of him to catch up to the guys in front. Talking of the guys in front, Bandit is, well, he's got a bit of a gap. It's not as big as he'd like, but he has got a gap. He's on those soft tyres, so we'll be thinking about a pit stop pretty soon. He's got half a tank of fuel, so I think the tyres are going to force him in before he runs out of fuel. It will be the same for Smith. In fact, I think Bandit's looking after his tyres quite well. Smith is on the mediums. Yes, they are slightly better, but not massively.
He's quite far out in front, isn't he? So he's able to nurse those tyres a lot better, because he's got quite a sizable gap by the looks of it, hasn't he? Yeah. So he's only just going around that first part.
If you look at the difference between Bandit's tyres, they're about 40% to Firepower on 50%. Firepower having to push just a little bit harder. He's trying to get by Smith, but Smith doing a fantastic job of keeping Firepower behind him.
And this is the Murray's Corner. We might be able to rename it Hawkeye Corner, because
after that big spin.
Yes, it's known as, it's actually a good spot for overtaking, and it's named Murray's Corner because it was renamed after a crash in 1946. So.
And it's not named after Murray Walker.
No.
Which is a shame.
I was going to ask you actually, yeah, Murray. I thought it might be named after Andy Murray, but he's Scottish, isn't he? So why would they name a corner after Andy Murray?
Has absolutely nothing to do with motor racing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's Firepower then we're watching in third. Excuse me. As we come up towards Griffin's Bend and we start our entry into the mountain section. Now this, we're talking about interesting facts. The actual height difference between the top of this track and the bottom, the top being at the park section at McFinley Park, and the bottom section being Murray's Corner, we mentioned earlier, is 174 metres. That is the elevation change. So you can really see we are up in the mountains, and what a fantastic view if you look in the background.
Fantastic views, we love it up here, don't we?
Yeah, not that these guys will be looking at the background. They'll be concentrating on the tarmac in front of them. So I think Bandit, Firepower and Smith will be thinking about a pit stop pretty soon. Castrian, he's having a quiet but very steady race, is Castrian. Excuse me, in fourth on the medium tyres.
Yeah, he's got quite a gap back to Firepower, and he's a bit in no man's land at the moment, isn't he? So he's just minding his own business, just wants to get through the big dipper on his own. But sometimes it's probably good just to go around a dipper on yourself instead of being up the rear end of someone else, so like Firepower. So yeah, he's having a good race at the moment, Cash.
Yeah, it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to be on your own, isn't it? You tend to lose a bit of concentration when you're racing somebody. But I agree with you, Mark. It's nice just to get a few laps under your belt on your own through that dipper to build the confidence up before you do actually start the proper racing. And we can see Firepower not that far ahead of Castrian, so Castrian having a good race.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest Castrian's probably catching Firepower up, because I'd imagine Firepower's tyres are pretty much nearly gone.
Yeah, he's going to start to suffer a little bit, isn't he, Firepower? He's staying out. He's not decided to come into the pits yet, but maybe this is going to be his last lap, so he's going to have to pit at the end of 7.
He'll start losing too much time if he stays out of them softs, Mark.
He really, he started to drop off the back of Smith. He was right up his chuff a little bit earlier on, wasn't he? But Smith has managed to open up that gap. You can just see Firepower in the distance. So Smith using those medium tyres to open up the gap even more back to Firepower. As you quite rightly said, I think Firepower is now starting to struggle a little bit, and Castrian is starting to reel him in.
So it'd be interesting to see. So if you Firepower, we're going to say, is going to come in at your end of lap 7, maybe he'll go to lap 8, depending on how he's feeling on those tyres. So if you look at him, he's the next person down from Bandit, isn't he? So what's Bandit's tyres look like? Roughly about the same. Not too bad,
yeah. No, well, I think there's a little bit more, maybe a little bit more. Bandit, as you quite rightly said, he can afford to just look after the tyres slightly better, but yeah, Smith is in a good position here at the minute. He's on the medium tyres. He's currently sitting in P2. He's got the soft tyres to look forward to, and everybody around him has got to use the hard tyres.
Oh no! I thought I saw Smith bouncing across the gravel trap there.
The commentator's curse. I do apologise. We were just saying how well he's doing. Let's just see what happened. Was it too much grass?
It seems okay now. I think it's here, isn't it? Oh, I just didn't want to turn, did it? And you think how far?
couldn't get it to turn in. Oh, and then it flips it around. Well, there you go. He's facing the right way for now. Firepower gets gifted P2. And Castrian is on top of him as well. So he's going to have damage.
He will, and Castrian's going to need to get off that Forest Elbows turn.
Castrian nearly hits the barrier as well. So it is all. I think Castrian is he needs to concentrate on his own race as he has been. He can probably sense that Smith is struggling a bit. Oh, look at the damage there.
I do imagine that does slow you down quite a bit, doesn't it? Because the wheel's not rotating correctly, is it? Because it's basically bouncing left to right, so that all the wheel nuts must be loose or something. But the nanobots have done them back up again now.
They've sorted it.
Cassian's chasing him down. As again, what we say, the slipstream down here doesn't really kick in until this part of the track. So he has caught up with him.
And they're both on the medium tyres as well. So Castrian senses a podium spot at the minute. And there we go. Bandit is in. Bandit's come in a little bit earlier than I thought, to be honest. I think Firepower. Well, there we go.
Lap 8. Yeah, lap 8. So another lap for him.
I thought Firepower might have done the same as Bandit and come in. So he's trying the overcut. Bandit in to change his tyres. Let's see who else is. Smith has stayed out. Castrian has stayed out. So Bandit dropping down. He's not even hit the pit crew. Oh, there we go. Just in now. So Firepower now leads. Sorry, mate.
We did see in the last race, didn't we? The Pro 1 guys, the winner. He did actually start on the mediums, didn't he? And
yes,
had a very good race. So the mediums seemed to be the best strategy.
Yeah,
for the last race.
Yeah, the softs just wear out too quickly and the hards are too much of a handful. So yeah, mediums definitely the tyre of choice. Bandit, he's back out in fourth. He's in no man's land, so that'll suit him actually. I think, knowing that the three guys ahead of him have all got a pit, he can start concentrating on putting some, getting some decent lap times in. We can see that Steele is in, Flash is in, so starting to get a bit of movement in the pit lanes now. So who's going to be next?
Not too far, is he? Bandit's actually not too far from the top.
No, he's not. No, he's not. That lead he opened up early doors has really helped him out now. So he should, I think, when the other guys do pit ahead of him, and we know that Firepower currently leading, but definitely struggling now. That front right.
He's got to come in, Mark, hasn't he? He's literally, as what we saw in the last race, somebody who crossed the last corner with literally no tyres, and it's going to be an absolute handful to try and drive around the track with that.
Yeah, Firepower's going to have no steer. Oh, look, the headlight's gone, so he's had a bit of an issue at some point. Smashed that front headlight. So Firepower then, well, is G. Smith going to challenge him, or is he going to come into the pit? So I'm just looking at the fuel. It's the fuel for Smith rather than the tyres as they come down towards the chase. So Firepower will be coming into the pit. Smith, do you think he's going to come in?
He might do the opposite to what Firepower does. So he must know that he's probably got at least about another lap.
He's got one more, hasn't he?
So it'd be interesting to see whether he follows Firepower in.
Yeah, there we go. So he's just doing the same. So Firepower on the soft, Smith on the medium. So it's going to be interesting to see what tyre choice the pair of them go for next. Castrian has decided to come in as well. That's probably a good decision actually from Castrian to follow those guys in. Bandit now, as he's just gone through the chase and heading down towards Murray's Corner at turn 23. And the other guys, I'm just looking at the table on the left, there's no fuel going into them cars yet, so Bandit should retake this lead on those hard tyres, which is exactly what he wants.
Exactly, they've still not even started putting fuel in the car and it's gone round Hell's Corner.
There we go, fuel going in now. So Firepower, Smith and Castrian all taking some fuel on board. Addy is into the pits. Let's have a look. Killer or JK, he is into the pits. Golden Lugnuts, is he going to come into the pits as well, or is he going to do one more lap? He's going to stay out, but Firepower is out. Smith is out. Firepower just ahead of Smith. Castrian in fourth, but look how close they all are. We'll jump on board, shall we, with Castrian.
Castrian and Smith are on the softs and Firepower's on the mediums, so they've got the advantage here, Mark.
This is going to be very interesting as we get up towards turn 2. You can see Smith there trying to put Castrian off. Castrian not really interested at the minute. Quite happy to just follow these guys. Oh, his Firepower goes very wide, and he's had a good old scrape with Barrier there as Smith and Castrian go through. That's Firepower pushing maybe just a little bit too hard into turn 2.
I'm wondering whether Smith and Cashin behind him kind of put him off a little bit there. Too busy looking in the rearview mirror as he went
on
into
the
turn
mid.
two.
Well, what? Let's just quickly go back.
That's unfortunate. I reckon he had one eye on the corner and one eye on these two guys behind.
Yeah, I agree, because he just couldn't get that car to turn, could he? Thought he'd got away with it, but the curb just pulled him over into the barrier. So Smith and Castro give him a wave as they go by, and Firepower says, "Oh dearie me."
I think when you look at it though as well, though, it's probably a good thing for Firepower, because Smith and Castro are both on the softs anyway. So they'll run their race. He's going to run his race. So then that way he's not having to defend on both of these two guys.
No, and I think what he could probably do is as well on the medium tyres, stick with them, and he can look after his tyres a little bit better. Those mediums, as you quite rightly said, seem to be the tyre of choice. So we're expecting that Smith and Castrian are going to run out of tyres pretty quickly. Firepower is going to last a little bit longer. Bandit, well, what's he going to do? He can afford to actually stay out on those hard tyres for some time now.
He can, yeah. So what do you think? He started the race on the softs?
Yes, he did. Yes, he's got the mediums to look forward to. Yeah.
The mediums, so he's got a compound to finish the race off. But he's so far ahead. He can almost pull over into a Costa and just sit there.
And sit there and wait for everybody to catch him.
Yeah, he's so far ahead. Yeah, so
as we see Firepower, look, picking up that slipstream as we come down the Conrad Straight into the chase, and Firepower is not close enough to attack Castrian at the minute, but he is close enough to give him a bit of a wobble and put him under a bit of pressure. So Firepower just going to keep pushing Castrian. Castrian is just going to soak it up. Let's have a look and see what's happening elsewhere. Steele, after his pit stop, remember he started on the hards in 5th, and he's on mediums now. So good racing from Steele.
Good racing from Steele, yeah. So hard mediums, and then he's going to basically wait for them softs for the last stint, isn't he? So he's going to be able to go flat out. But some of these guys have still got to run the hards anyway, haven't they? So he's in a bit of no man's land, but maybe he likes that anyway. He can just concentrate on his own race. He hasn't got nobody in front. Hasn't got to worry about anybody behind him. So just do your race, do your stints, and then let's see what happens on the second pit stop when he puts some softs on.
Just hope for a mistake from somebody a bit further up. Golden Lugnuts, he's actually ran out of fuel. He is actually going downhill, so he should be able to roll into the pits. So Lugnuts has
you will 59. Get there eventually. You will get there eventually.
Oh dear, but he's made it. You don't want to apply the brakes, otherwise the pit crew will have to come out and push you in. So Lugnuts is in. So Addy, he's out. He's what's he got? He's always got the indicator going as Addy. So is he just trying to put somebody off?
Maybe saying I'm turning left. Which
Killer in 8th. He's made his stop. He's now decided to come out on the hard tyres. So we've got Lugnuts and we've got Sid into the pit. Sid has decided to come in. Oh, look at that tyre, that front right, completely gone.
Completely gone. And I just love this pit crew in Australia. The lack of urgency to them. Look how relaxed they are.
They're like coiled springs.
They are, yeah. They're literally like, it's a work-life balance. It's more about have a bit of chill.
It's a case of we'll do it if we feel like it.
We'll do it next Tuesday for you. You'll be alright.
So Bandit, look at the gap Bandit has got now. He is it's his to lose, as I say. I think, you know what, I'm going to say it, even if Bandit decided to have a crash and hit the barrier, I think he'd still recover and stay out in front. He's doing
I think so.
He's
already coming up to, what's his, lap 10, so somebody who's just come out the pit, so I wouldn't be surprised if he laps a couple of cars, he's that far in front. So
yeah, just over halfway. So we've got 11 laps to go. Smith in 2nd. Pressure's off of Smith at the minute on those soft tyres. Castrian behind him also on the soft tyres, but has just dropped off the back a little bit. Firepower doing what he needs to do and just staying with them, or at least he's staying with Castrian anyway. Castrian needs to get a bit of a hurry up really. Get back up to the rear end of Smith. So had a bit.
He needs to make them softs work for him, doesn't he?
He does. I'm just going to have a look at the lap times. It was a 2:18 on lap 10 for Castrian.
Firepower.
And Firepower's a 2:19.7, which you would expect actually, because he is on the harder compound. Fastest man on track. Well, quite obvious really. It was Bandit at 2:17.1.
Do you reckon we'll see a 2:16 mark?
I think once he gets onto the soft tyres, he's done the softs, hasn't he? So, well, I don't know. It's within reach, isn't it?
It is. It's definitely within reach. But look how he's literally cruising, isn't he? He's so far out in front.
Still
Sunday
in no
drive.
man's land. Let's see if we can find a bit of a fight. No, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will. Sorry for all the flicking. We're going to go on board. So let's go on board with Addy. We're doing on board with Addy because he's just about to cross the start finish line.
Go for it.
So he takes us up towards turn 1 at Hell Corner. A right angle of a left-hander, and then we start on to the mountain straight. Now this is the climb up towards the mountain section. Good overtaking spot if you can get to the slipstream. However, it is, as you can see, uphill all the way. But this leads us up in towards Griffin's Bend at turn 2, where we saw Firepower just slightly get it wrong a little bit earlier on. So it's into the right-hander of turn 2. Oh, Addy also almost doing the same thing that Firepower did, but just about getting away with it. Then we come into a double left-hander at turns 3 and 4 at the cut-in. You've got to be careful here as well with the power because there's a bit of a camber in the road. It's uphill, it's a left-hander, very easy to spin. Then we go through turns 5, 6 and 7 through Quarry Corner. Then we're on to Frog Hollow, and the villa that myself and Mark have rented for the weekend is over there on the right. Then we're up into the Solomon Park, McPhillamy Park area before we start the descent as we go through the S's. So we're at the highest point now under this little banner board into the S's, and then as Addy just clips that board there as we come into the dipper. Then we start the descent now into Forest Elbow at turn 18, the left-hander, getting on the power as early as you possibly can. Little kink in the road just ahead is turn 19. Then we're on to the Conrad Straight, just over a mile, 1.1 mile in length, and it is full throttle all the way down here. Let's just see what kind of speeds we can get out of this Corvette GR4 before we hit the chase. We are looking around about 147, maybe 150, do you think? So there we go, 153 before we hit the brakes into the chase at turn 21. And then we're still going downhill towards turn 23, just past the pit entry into Murray's Corner at turn 23, and then we're on to the start finish straight again. So that was Addy taking us for a lap around Mount Panorama, otherwise known as Bathurst.
It's quite interesting, isn't it, Mark? The sheer power between Group 4 and a Group 3, because the boys, the race that we did earlier, what was the fastest lap they had there? A 2:03. 2:03. So
2:03.
Smith's put in the fastest lap of a 2:17.1, so we are slightly creeping towards a 2:16.
Yeah, so you can see the difference between the GR3s and the GR4s, but just because they're in a slightly slower car doesn't mean to say the racing isn't as good. And you can see System X now putting the pressure on Golden Lugnuts as they go around turn 1 at Hell's Corner onto the mountain straight, and System X will be looking at getting into that slipstream. Lugnuts on the medium tyres, System X on the hards, but when you're going in a straight line, it doesn't matter what compound tyre you've got on. It's when you get to the braking zones and the turny bits that it all kicks into play.
This has got to be my most favourite corner out the whole track, this one here.
It's a great corner when you get it right, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Horrible corner when you get it wrong. So Bandit, well, not a lot of point in fight. Well, you're right, he's just going to come up and lap somebody now, isn't he, as we start lap 13. So fantastic stuff from Bandit.
It's like you say, he could literally come a cropper at Dipper, and he's so far ahead. As we see, Sid might be moving out of the way for him now.
I think Sid, I think that was good driving from Sid actually to try and move out Bandit's way. I'm just looking at Bandit's lap times actually. Although the fastest lap is held by Smith at the minute on a 2:17.1. If you look at the right hand side table, that's Bandit's laps. He's got a 2:17.8, and that's on hard tyres. He's got a 2:18.5, 2:18.5, 2:19.6. So this guy does not mess about, does he?
No. This guy looks like he's going places. literally.
He's definitely going to, yeah, he's definitely going to start working his way through the grid, and best of luck to him as well. He's a very quick, very accomplished driver. Smith then still in second. He's having a fantastic race, is Smith, and we don't want to curse him again. Probably not the best time to actually say that as he's going across the top of the mountain section, heading towards the Dipper, but there you go.
I do believe Cashin's coming under attack from Firepower, if I can look up on the mirror, yeah.
So yeah, Castrian holding Firepower off in third, Firepower in fourth. So one much better tyre. So those medium tyres will start to work for him now as Castrian starts to lose grip. Well, it's the right hand side, isn't it? That front right is starting to suffer now from Castrian.
Yeah, the front right, it takes massive punishment around here because you think of the sheer heat of the track as well. So, and it's a anti-clockwise. I always get my clockwise and anti-clockwise wrong. But this is anti-clockwise, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an anti-clockwise track of right-hand side. Where? Left-hand side. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, he'll start catching them up in the lap or two. He'll definitely catch up round here only once he's in the slipstream. So, I'll probably say. He's in a good
position, isn't he, Firepower, at the minute, sitting there in fourth on the medium tyre. What happened there? What happened?
I think he may well have dipped a tyre onto the gravel there,
Oh, it was the curve.
Oh, that's really... And look at this, he's buried as well in the gravel.
That's not what you want. Oh, no, great stuff from Castrian as well. It just that slight mistake. He just took too much curb, and because of the shape of the curb, because he got his tyre on the wrong side of it, it just pulled him around. He will be absolutely furious with himself.
He will, but it's not all lost though, is it? Because he's got quite a sizable gap back to Steele. So
yeah.
He can just, recoup himself, shake it off, and just carry on.
He lost a place, but unfortunately that place was a place on the podium, so he's just a bit of catching up to do. That's why I think he'd be furious with himself. He's gone from third and a glass of champagne to fourth and a sip of Kiora, which is what they have out in Australia, I believe, isn't it? So Castrian then down in fourth, and Steele in fifth. Let's just see if we can find a bit of a battle going on. Addy's getting slightly closer to Killer, so Killer, our debutant, is having a decent race at the minute. He's on those hard tyres. Killer's on the hard tyres, yeah, as is Addy, as Addy tries to put a challenge in before they get to the chase, but nothing doing there, so Killer just holds on, or JK, not JK, GK?
GK.
Killer, I'll go with Killer. Down the hill then, as Addy just puts that pressure on again, and Addy just giving him the welcome to URL treatment. But Killer doing well, actually.
He is very, very good first outing for him. So it's interesting to see. Oh, look at that! It's almost like he's drifting around that corner.
It's never easy, is it, Mark? Joining a league for the first time and being thrust straight into this kind of race. So
it's not. No, it's yeah. Joining a new league and then your first race is Bathurst. So yeah, I can't imagine that's been on most people's top 5 list to want to do, but he's got to get used to the guys around him, hasn't he? So
and the car as well. Yeah, he's got to get used to the guys and the car, and unless he's got a test car or a practice car, he's only done 135 miles in it, and most of them have been around here. So he's just finding his feet with it all.
He's probably like most of the guys, haven't they? They've got 2 cars. Me, myself, I've only got the 1. So you guys do have a practice car that you want to go around to preserve, what is it, the chassis and the engine, I'm assuming?
Yeah, and I'd just like a different livery.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair. I just basically put some new oil in my car, and that's about it. So,
and it's the other thing is when the commentator actually picks up on how many miles of practice I've done, and I'm still doing really bad. So that's why I tend to have a practice car. So the race car's hardly got any miles on it. So the commentator will have to say, "Oh, he's only just getting used to the car look."
That's a good cloak, that is, Mark. Yeah, good cloak.
So Killer, just get a little bit squirrely there as we come out of the mountain section. That's allowed Addy to get a little bit closer, so we're just going to stay with these guys as Addy makes the move as we go down the Conrad Straight. Now, I think Killer just moved out of his way there, so, actually. Yeah. That did look like he tried to get as far over to the right as possible, didn't he? Which he didn't have to.
No, he didn't have to, but I feel like he just wanted to concede that because, like I say, he's new. He's just getting used to the drivers because you know there's several other places you can go racing at, but in the URL the drivers are exceptionally clean, aren't they, and very sportsmanlike.
Yeah.
So he's just
we'll give him a couple of weeks, and I'm sure he won't be moving over that easily. And,
no. Just being courteous today, isn't he?
Just being very courteous today. So, what's this? I was going to say, a bit of a battle going on here between, we've got System X in 9th, Golden Lugnut's in 10th, Flash in 11th, and then we've also got Bandit.
So,
who's trying to Bandit? He's going to have to try and find his way around here. Let's just get an on board there. We'll sit in the passenger seat as the guys try and get out of Bandit's way. But they don't have to.
No, they don't. I do feel a bit sorry for them because they've got their own race, haven't they? But
absolutely.
He has flags, so they are going to have to move over for him. It's unfortunate because it looked like they were having a cracking race there.
They were having a great race, and trying to move out of the way for Bandit, who gets a little bit squirrely out of turn 23, but he's through. So let's just carry on. Where was it? There we go. It was Lugnut's, Flash and System X, wasn't it? That were all battling away. They were having a great little fight, weren't they? Until Bandit came along and spoilt it.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for them, yeah, because they was actually really having good hard racing there, and it just gets spoiled because they've had to pull over. But you know, it is what it is, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, and with a bit of hindsight, if Bandit had just backed off until he got himself round turn 23 and onto the straight. The mountain straight, he may have been able to make a cleaner pass. Not that he didn't make a clean pass anyway, but it did impact these guys. But never mind, they are still racing, and I'm sure they're enjoying themselves out there. We do have some pit stops, so Smith is now in, and so is Firepower Smith. Getting rid of those softs, Firepower on the medium, so both going to go on to the hard tyres, are they?
I do believe so. Yeah, hard tyres. Firepower's come out on hard, I do believe as well.
Yeah, so they're both onto the hard tyres now. So Firepower in third, just behind Smith. Well, I say just behind. There is a bit of a gap between the two of them. Just looking at the distance, couldn't quite see Firepower, but Firepower he'll be okay with that at the minute. If you'd have offered him third at the beginning of the race, I'm sure he would have taken it.
He's on the podium, isn't he, at the moment? So sipping that got a taste of that champagne at the moment. Cassion's now on the hards. Right, okay, so Smith, Firepower and Cassion, they're all on the hard tyres. So that to me probably looks like how it might finish.
Yeah, I think they're going to stay. They're not going to come in again, are they? The only one who I think was going to make another stop, we was wondering, was Hawkeye.
Yeah, he seems to have fallen back quite a bit though, doesn't he, Hawkeye?
I'm wondering if he has made an extra stop, because he pitted very early, didn't he? I think it was the end of lap 3 to get rid of the hard tyres.
Yeah, that was very early. That was at least come do probably about 5 or 6 laps on the hards. So.
Yeah, maybe he's done 2 stints on the softs, because they do look like fairly new soft tyres that he's got on that car. So Hawkeye has probably done that. He's done 2 stints. So race leader is into the pits then. So let's just have a look and see where Smith is. Oh, Smith has just come out of Forest Elbow. So Bandit into the pits. Has got time, I think, to get some fuel, change of tyres.
I think he's got plenty of time there, hasn't he? Will Smith probably come round to look? He hasn't even arrived into the pits yet.
It's going to be close, isn't it? I thought he had a lot more time than this, but he is going to be close as Smith goes as he goes through the chase, heading down towards the final turn at Murray's. Now you can see the fuel going into Bandit's car. Now he's not going to take a full fuel load, as he sees only put 60 litres in. He is back out on the medium tyres, and well, he can see them to the end of the race now with only 5 laps to go.
Well, Smith's on the hards, isn't he? Is he on the hards, Smith?
Smith's on the hard tyres,
yes. Yeah. So I think to be fair, I think Bandit's got this one wrapped up. To be honest, he's just cruising, really, isn't he? He's just having a bit of fun out there. The other 3 guys behind him, they're all on the hards. I'm not quite sure what tyre Steele's on, but. Softs, okay, so that might be an interesting one, whether he can catch up to the back of Cassion before
bit of a gap though, isn't there, between Steele and Cassion. You can just see now that Steele just coming down to turn 23, whereas Castrian is already on the mountain straight heading up towards turn 2. So it's I think Castrian could hold on to P4 if he stays mistake free.
He could, but this is the part of the track exactly where he's going to lose his time, isn't he, to Steele?
Yes. Yeah, because he's on those hard tyres, and as I say, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to have any accidents. Bit of lag kicking in there as well. That's not going to help. So Steele in 5th then. Killer's into the pits, currently in P6, but he's going to lose that, I think, to Addy. Addy just coming around the final turn now across the start-finish line. So we'll just stay with Addy just to see whereabouts. If he can get ahead of Killer, it's showing, yeah, he will do. Killer's only just getting his tyres changed. Wow. So Addy's gone through. Hawkeye is going to go through as well. So Killer's dropping down the order now. System X has just come around the final turn. So I think Killer's going to get out just ahead of System X. And he is. Ooh.
4 seconds? 4? 4.
So that'll be 3 seconds for pit lane, and he would have probably carried a second in. That is cruel. Just turn that. We say it every week. Turn the damn pit lane penalties off.
And he's going to have to take that down the Conrad straight, yeah? So 4 seconds, that's going to be a lifetime. So the guys behind him, System X and Flash, I would not be surprised if they'd be right on his
they're going to get a lot closer, aren't they, as poor old Killer has to carry that. He's on the soft tyres, though, whereas System X and, Flash is on the soft, so System on the hard tyres. He's coming under attack from Flash. We'll just jump on board with Flash as we try and get by System X. System X is going to be defending all the way through this very tricky section of the track. And, excuse me, nowhere really to overtake here, so Flash is just going to have to be patient.
He will. He'll have to wait through. I forget the name of it.
Forest Elbow. I think he's
Forest
going to.
Yeah. It's just look how narrow it is around here. It's so easy to just lose that bit of concentration, then you're off, aren't you? So yeah, he's just going to sit there now. Flashy will sit there. He knows he's got him. As long as he gets a good exit out of Forest Elbow, he's going to have System X down on the Conrad straight. And
that's it. Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do. He's got the tyres. He's got the soft tyres for it. As we come into Forest Elbow now, and Flash is right where he needs to be. And great exit.
You've got to love the sound of the grunt of that Corvette as well.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
American muscle.
It's great, isn't it? So Flash now into the slipstream. So he needs to try and get by now. Then, has Killer served his penalty? Yes, he has. Just. And where are the other two guys? They're not quite close enough, are they? And Flash, he seems to be struggling to get by System. So System's going to hold on to P9.
It's really bad, isn't it? The slipstream down the Conrad straight, because I thought he was literally right up his chuff coming out of Forest Corner, and he's coming into the pits. Okay.
Where's he gone?
Yeah, I was going to say, where's Flash gone?
Unless the slipstream is set to low or something, but do you really think that Flash would have been able to take him there? But no, and then something's happened. He's onto the grass.
Oh, that's unlucky.
A wheel on the grass.
I think he was trying not to hit System, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's really unfortunate for him.
That is unfortunate for Flash. He'll be kicking himself for that. You've only got to touch that grass, and the car will try and kill you. System XO into the pits then after that little battle. So Flash, well, he wouldn't have known that System X was coming into the pits, but he really didn't need to do that. And he's soon to be lapped by Bandit as we come up to turn 1. And Bandit's just going to get around the corner before making his move as Flash pulls over.
Yeah, he'll pull over, let Bandit through, and Bandit will be on his merry way. Flash can pick up the slipstream from him, can't he? So
that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to drop him behind him, and maybe even follow his lines, his braking points, pick up a few tips along the way.
Maybe. But if you look at the time difference between Flash. What have we got here? He has been fighting for a few laps though, hasn't he? 22s, 39s and 46s, whereas Bandit, as you can see already, he's just literally pulling away, isn't he? So
Going
it'd be
to
very
pull
hard
away,
for
yeah.
Flat to try and
But I think
keep up with him.
Bandit is on the soft tyres as well. Or he's on the mediums.
On the
So
mediums.
Bandit's on the mediums. So Bandit, anyway, way out in front now. Then we've got a bit of a battle taking place because Firepower has managed to creep up to the back of Smith. There was quite a gap between the two of them at one point. Smith on the hard tyres, Firepower also on the hard tyres. So Firepower seems to be coping better on the harder compound as we go into the mountain section, then up through turns 3 and 4.
So and that is all to play for, isn't it, between Firepower and Smith, both being on the same compound. Fuel, Firepower's on half a tank, so flat out to the end. I'm not quite sure what Smith's got. Yeah, so this is basically a race to the end. Yeah, but they're not going to use all of that up, are they, in the space of 3 laps? So
no,
this is foot flat to the floor and a fight for that podium.
It's going to be an interesting finish. It was an absolute fantastic finish in the Pro 1 with the Pro 1 guys, and even if you just go and watch the race just for that bit, the last few minutes of that race was absolutely awesome.
That was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely incredible.
And this is shaping up to be the same as well, but you can see Smith is going to pick up a bit of a slipstream from, it looks like Golden Lugnuts up ahead, so any advantage that Firepower thought he may have using the slipstream has gone completely out the window because Smith has gained an advantage as well.
Yeah, that's clever from Smith, isn't it? He's going to use Lugnut's slipstream to basically keep Firepower behind him, so it'll be interesting to see where he's going to pass around here.
It just cancelled it out, didn't it? Oh, I think Smith was going to have a look, wasn't he? But he got himself all sorts of wrong, and Firepower has now pounced on it, and you can see he's looking left and right. He's just trying to pick his spot, his Firepower, trying to get himself in the mirrors of Smith, trying to put him off. Now, Smith has still got to get past Lugnuts, the back marker. Now, Lugnuts, he has to move over, but it looks like he's fighting it. Now then, is Lugnuts going to stay right? No, he's...
Oh, come on, Lugnuts, come on.
He just, I thought he's just having a bit of a battle, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like, do you know what, I'll have a go with these guys.
I
think they have got through now. I don't think they'll be saying the same thing, no, will they?
No,
get out the way, get out the way!
No, absolutely not. But Smith has gone by and Firepower has gone through as well. Lugnuts, just don't challenge, don't try and unlap yourself now. It's too late. As Firepower, I think he got that entry into turn 2 slightly wrong, and that's cost him just a touch of time. As Smith still managing to hold on to P2. Firepower is just going to have to sit behind him now as we go through the mountain section, and we've said it 100 times already over the last couple of races. It is all about the entry and the exit of Forest Elbow, and that's what Firepower will be thinking about. He'll be wondering about when he can make his move. He needs to get a little bit closer to Smith, to be fair.
He does, but he seems to be a lot smoother on the hard tyres as opposed to Smith, to be fair.
Smith, yeah, I'd agree that. Firepower seems to be coping with them a little bit better, but as I say, he does need to get a bit closer because that gap there, what we've got, 3-4 car lengths gap there, is it's enough, I think, for Smith to stay in P2 before they get to the chase. So Firepower really does need to get a hurry up. We're going to go down the rest of the grid as we are approaching the end of this race. So Castrian still in 4th, Steele is in 5th. Then we've got Addy, Hawkeye in 7th, G Keller or GK in 8th, Flash in 9th, System X in 10th, Golden Lugnuts 11th, and Sid down in 12th. Bandit, as we know, is long gone.
He's long gone. The one I feel a bit sorry for is Hawkeye, because I thought he was going to be higher up than 7th because he started really well. I know he came in obviously on the end of lap 3. I mean, how much tyres has he got left?
I'm wondering though if Hawkeye has actually made a couple of 3. We did say we thought he was going to do 3 stops, didn't we? Because he did pit very, very early. Those softs are really struggling now. So Hawkeye, down in 7th. But it is this battle for P2 that is, this is the only battle we've got taking place at the minute, and Firepower is pushing Smith. We are on the final lap. Bandit has long gone. He's up into the mountain section. We will keep an eye on it because we do like to see him cross the line, but this is where the fight is, as Firepower tries desperately to get closer to Smith as they go through turn 2 and start up into the mountain section.
He has closed up. So this is going to be very interesting around this section, Mark. He
Yeah,
needs to be really close, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got to stay behind him. Unless Smith makes a mistake, Firepower is not going to be able to get by him through this section. But as soon as they exit at Forest Elbow at turn 18...
He's really put his foot on the floor there. Did you see him where he had a bit of the back end stepped out
No,
on Firepower? So he is really trying hard here.
Firepower or Smith?
No, it's Firepower. So if you look just round here, the back end of Smith's car just kicks out because he's literally flooring it. Where is it? It's not going to show it now. Oh no!
Yes, it did. Yeah, it started to drift, didn't it? He started to drift, but managed to catch it.
But look how close he is now. This is he's going to be zoned in on this part. He knows he needs to get Forest Elbow just right. He really does need to be on the bumper going round.
This is fantastic stuff. This is. I don't think Firepower's having a drink at the minute. He's not having his little usual sipple while they're doing this race. I bet it is full concentration all the way.
But then he has dropped off a little bit again, hasn't he? So he closes up in that certain section. And then Dipper, he's dropped off a little bit.
I think he's just probably a bit too cautious through the Dipper, but a good exit out of Forest Elbow. It's got to be said, it's a good exit. Now then, the race is on. Can he get close enough? I personally don't think he can. I think the slipstream just isn't there, is it?
It's not there. No, it's just not there. It's not there. I don't think he's going to gain much on him here, to be fair. Well done to Bandit.
Jumped to Bandit, who has finished the race so far ahead of everybody else. So well done to him. Brilliant race. Look at the damage on the front of Smith's car. The boys in the body shop are really going to have something to say to him when he limps back in. It's a complete new front end, but fantastic racing from Smith. And I think he's done just enough to keep Firepower behind him.
It's a shame, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think the slipstream is that strong around this track today.
No, it's not. So Smith across the line then to take second. Well done to him, and Firepower makes up the podium. So it is Bandit, Smith and Firepower. Well done to those guys. Castrian will finish in P4. He's just about going to make it across the line before the fuel runs out.
Castrian.
Yeah, well done to Castrian. That's good racing for him. Well deserved P4. Steele just coming out of the exit of the chase, and look at that, he's almost got the full length, well, he has got the full length of Conrad Straight distance between himself and Addy. So fantastic stuff from Steele. A good steady race. He ran most of it on his own, to be fair.
He did. At least he got to take in the sights and the views though, Mark.
Yeah, he's had a good look round, listened to the radio, and so Addy then down towards the chase. He's got who's that just behind him? He's got Hawkeye just behind him, but again the slipstream just isn't there for these guys. So this is pretty much how it's going to finish, unless Addy makes a mistake, which I can't see happening.
Who did I just see off then? Unless that was this guy. Who is it?
Might have been one of the back markers. Might have been Sid.
Hawkeye. This one. Oh yeah, it might well have been.
So Addy then across the line to take P6. Hawkeye will get 7th. Killer on his debut will get 8th. That's a respectable start for his first race.
That is. He's popped his cherry, hasn't he? So where are we next week, Mark? Is it Monza? Is it Monza?
Do you know what? I have no idea.
Me neither.
Hold on, I'm not going to tell you now. It is Monza. Yes, it is. 27 laps around Monza. So that was the AM2 guys. Fantastic racing. Well done to Bandit. Well done to Smith and to Firepower for getting themselves upon the podium. Some brilliant stuff from these guys. Thank you to Mark for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure, mate, and hopefully you'll be back next week as well, when we will go over to Italy. So pizza time next week.
Pizza time, and we'll spend some quality time with the Tifosi, shall we?
Yeah, why not? Oh, I'm pressing all sorts of wrong buttons here. So if I can remember which one, I'm doing it again now. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will be back next week, and in the meantime, take care and be safe.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody.